keeping Hillboy birds up. You end up buying collections and odds and ends. You just pick up whatever you can. Especially this was part of an old aircraft, because you never know when you're going to need something, even if it's not something you're storing. Somebody else might need it and might be able to trade for something you do need. All the aircraft that fly, we have over 60 aircraft in flying condition. They have to go through a full annual maintenance. In addition to, they're 80 years old and tend to break down a lot more. So they do spend a lot of time in the maintenance. So,
including the German aircraft?
yeah, German aircraft. And most of our aircraft are flying.
I can't tell. What?
Where you're going to find it, and okay, if you see it and you want it, everybody wants it.
Yeah.
We have an original World War II brick doorstop, one that was damaged for the control tower. We can't use it. But it works well as a doorstop. Oh, man. Oh, a little warmer in here today. Come on in, I'll give you a quick rundown of what we're looking at and let you wander around. Everybody come on in. Won't be long now, we'll stop doing tours in here in the afternoon because it gets too hot. Come on in. The group has gotten bigger. All righty. Willkommen zu Cottbus, Deutschland. Cottbus is where this hangar was when we found it. These hangars were actually designed to be transportable. They could take them apart and move them to, as the front moved forward, they would take their hangars with them. This spent its entire life in Cottbus, which was as a training base. When this photo here of the hangar in better days and worse days. It was taken apart and brought over here, including the original wooden doors over here on the other end. And we sandblasted it all, put it all back together. We found a couple of very interesting things when we did. You'll see some machine gun holes and damage to some of the first one over here. They're embellished a little bit so you can find them easier. The other one was on, they found some graffiti on the outside of one of the beams. And it was in Polish, and it was a man's name. It says they worked here and the date just about a few months before the end of the war. He was a slave laborer working in Germany during the war. Just a quick rundown on what really was one of the primary driving things and why they placed so much emphasis on flight training. After World War I, the reparations were so harsh on Germany that they literally have just gotten done paying them a few years ago. They were not allowed to maintain an active Air Force or an active Navy. So what did they do? They held flying clubs all over the place. The Hitler Youth grew strong. Basically, I like to describe it as think Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, but a little more militarized. They had an aviation branch, and they would fly. You'll see a glider over here, and so open for restoration. They would build and fly their own gliders. Some not as nice as that one. They look more like hang gliders with a seat. And they would pull them up the mountain and then slide down and see if you built your own glider and you didn't kill yourself. When you went to 17, you had to be allowed to volunteer for the Luftwaffe, which was not a bad idea because it beat the heck out of going to the Eastern Front as a foot soldier. So, but we did have a local guy that was did that just towards the end of the war. He was in the Luftwaffe, and they gave him 100 hours in a Fokker 44 trainer, which is a biplane you'll see over here. After 100 hours of flight training, which is what most people now take to get just a private pilot's license, they turn around and put him in a Messerschmitt 109 fighter, and got him a few hours in that, and then they sent him to the Eastern Front, so he was flying over the Eastern Front instead of down on the ground. He was shot down 5 times, I believe it was. And while he was recuperating from the last time in the hospital, a German sergeant came through and started passing out rifles. So he told him, he said, "But I'm a Luftwaffe pilot." He says, "There's no more Luftwaffe." So ironically, he spent the last few weeks of the war lying in wait for tanks closing in on Berlin. The economy in Germany after World War I, well, you think we've had inflation in the last couple of years? It was nothing compared to what they had. They were literally rubber stamping the marked bills with extra zeros. Everything was just going so crazy. The unemployment was just really high. People say, how did people fall in and fall behind somebody like Hitler? Yeah. He talked a good talk like a lot of politicians do now. And I'm not going to say anything about one side or the other, but they both do it. And when things are, people tend to follow whatever sounds good to them. The aircraft that you see up on the ceiling are all concept aircraft. End of the war, Hitler is losing the war badly. He's running out of manpower, he's running out of materials, he's running out of fuels. He has his designers working on trying to come up with the next great super weapon that he promised would change the course of the war. Fortunately, he was not the military genius that he thought he was. He had several things that probably could have changed the war for him, but he didn't use them. So these are all just some different concept of different aircraft. The second airplane over there looks like it has set up for a jet engine, but it's really not. It was a engine that was designed to run on coal dust. They were able to get the engine operational, but they never mated the two in the plane together. You look at the rest of them over here. This is a giant flying bomb that the pilot would jet-powered bomb, a rocket-powered bomb, would fly to the target, and the pilot would release the bomb. One of them on the far side also was rocket-powered, and if you look, you see the tail's open because that was a tail from the original concept aircraft. We have several aircraft in here that don't look like they belong in the collection. The first one is the Youngmeister. It's a sport aircraft that's used for aerobatic flying. So the sport clubs, they would put people in and try to teach them some dogfighting skills. The aircraft in front of us is the Junkers, and it was designed as an aircraft for the Lufthansa between World War I and World War II. It was state-of-the-art for the time. It was easily converted to military use. Ours is set up as a freighter and a paratrooper aircraft. We've got a static line, and they would jump from right in the inside there. Now the graffiti that we found that I've mentioned is on the far side there. You'll see a light and mirror. That's about there's a spot just so that you can sort of glance up at it and look at it in the mirror. I'm going to just shut up and let y'all wander around a little bit. I'll wander around with you. If you have any questions, let me know.
on my hand. Why? You can stick your finger in it. Foil. It's so big but low sitting. Dang, 3 propellers. Sorry. Really?
Very small. Is it that actual plan? Looks like it's made out of like aluminum. I can imagine it being made out of a school bus and then
put wings on it and an engine. 3 actually.